Greetings, space travelers in the galactic community. It is I, the spaceman, and I have landed in your area one more time. And tonight, I have a wonderful tobacco that I am smoking. That is Boswell Northwoods, as you know, it's a fine English. And I'm smoking that in my Joe Case pot-style pipe. If I can get it lit without it blowing up, right? Anyway, that is always good with a nice cup of coffee. And tonight's coffee of choice is Gevalia Cafe Espresso Roast. So, let's get to the topic at hand here. Evidently, this fella, Matty Roberts, created a Facebook page. I believe it was on at the end of June, 27th to be precise, and it was called Storm Area 51. So at first, evidently, this was a joke. And after a few days, there were 40 people signed up, and then all of a sudden it caught on. And now there's supposedly 1.5 million people that want to storm Area 51. People, does this mean anything to you? Top secret. This is a top secret military base in the southwestern United States, Nevada. Properly pronounced as Nevada, not Nevada. I know I've been out there. So, not to Nevada, but I've been out west. I've yet to visit Area 51, by the way. So let me get this straight. They think 1.5 million people are gonna, and they've announced when they're gonna be there. We're gonna be there on September 20th from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. And we're gonna storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. Really? You sure about that? And so they said they're going to do this technique called Naruto running, which is taken from a Japanese animation in which the person's back is arched backward, arms forward, and sprint and jumping. 1 million people through the desert. They don't even have it mapped out properly as to what. Okay, there's two ways, okay, to get in Area 51. There's the official way that the employees get in, which is miles and miles and miles to cover, which would take utterly days. They've got it mapped out to go in the other way, which is 40 miles, which is a more direct, way of the crow flight, whatever. The way of the crow flies. All right, so you're going to sprint. Let me get this straight. In the middle of the desert, in September 20th, in Nevada, across the desert, continuously dodging 50 caliber bullets. Now, hold on a minute. That's just 50 caliber bullets, okay? So you're going to do this without any water, without stopping for a water break, without stopping for a pee break, a pit stop. Have you not heard of the term carpet bombing? Do you not know the United States military has the biggest and most sophisticated equipment on planet Earth? It's top secret for a reason. They don't want you in there. Look, If anybody was ever interested about UFOs, it was me, okay? Area 51 has always had a reputation and goes way back. It's always known within these small circles as the UFO conspiracy, let's say, I guess you could say, I'll figure out the word, the holy grail of UFO locations and top secret affiliations and all that stuff, right? So, you know, this is where they used to test aircraft going way back to the 50s, maybe even before that, I don't know. They tested the U-2 spy plane there, which evidently crashed, and they didn't even really tell people that that crash was a U-2 crash that killed some scientists. But they said it was from nuclear testing, above ground nuclear testing, which they've also done in that area. So this area goes way back as far as testing and technology and all that good stuff, right? Top secret in the interest of national security for the United States of America. Let me explain something to people if you don't know this. I've been into UFOs and I've been interested in them and reading about them for many years, okay? If anybody's more interested in UFOs, it would be me, okay? But there's one thing I do know. They don't hide things or cover things up or classify things top secret for shits and giggles. They do it for a reason. And that reason is a good reason. And you should respect that. I understand, you know, we're the taxpayers, so we're footing the bill. We should, you know, be able to go. We paid for the place. This yada yada yada, right? Let's see how far you get on that pretense. Trying to run in there. First of all, like I said earlier, have you not ever heard of, you know, you say 1 million people, they can't stop us all. Don't count on that. You know, have you ever heard of the term carpet bombing? You know, utterly, where planes fly over areas and lay bombs by the hundreds and the thousands, like a carpet. When a guy installs a carpet in your house and he lays the carpet across the floor. Of course, this was considered a war crime by the Geneva Convention during 1977, and it is now actually forbidden to use in wartime. They've got drones, they've got all kinds of planes, air-to-ground missiles, they've got everything. I mean, they got things where they can annihilate huge masses of people all at once. Not saying they're going to do that, but to think that you can get in there. It's pretty stiff and almost borderline delusional thinking. So I would suggest you're going to be met with a lot of armed guards, more than likely from the military, who are going to be lined up completely around the parameters. You're not going to get in. If you try to get in, you're going to be met with Plan B, which would be another type of military confrontation, either tanks or tear gas or some kind of thing. I'm sure they got a million ways to exterminate people from there. Excuse the expression. Nobody wants to see this happen to anybody, okay? let me just throw this one out there at you. Okay? First of all, if 1.5 million people even do show up and even do attempt to get in there, which I highly doubt they would, I'd put money on they won't. I'd put money on maybe they'll show up, and all the merchants in the area, the promoters for concerts, or they'll make this thing into a big event. There'll be live bands playing there. It could end up being on the magnitude of a Woodstock festival, for instance. Because, of course, they're going to want to make money off of this, the merchants. I'm sure they're already setting up to. So, yeah, it's going to be an event, which is probably going to be laughable. As far as people trying to get in, it'll probably just end up being some kind of big party, right? Outside the boundary, the borders of Area 51. However, let's assume, or let's just speculate, and this is purely hypothetical, okay? Purely hypothetical, that some people do get through there or happened to get through there. So they get all the way through. Out of those people, I don't know how many would make it all the way into where the real sensitive things are. Let's say they do, and they look at you're not even going to know what you're looking at. You ain't going to know what you're looking at. You're going to look at something that's so sophisticated and so advanced, and okay, you're going to go in there and what are you going to do? Go in there and play with the aliens? I don't think so. So, I first heard about Area 51 in 1989 when I saw the story aired on sightings about Bob Lazar, whatever he claimed to be a former employee of Area 51. You can find all these videos on YouTube. It's all over the place. I've never even been there to visit. I would actually think it would be interesting to visit the area, but I would not attempt to try to go through there. There's been several videos posted on YouTube over the last, 6, 7, 10 years, showing people, showing you what happens if you do try to go through there. You may not be shot, but you're definitely more than likely going to be met up with some camo dudes in some SUV trucks or whatever you want to call them. And they're going to call the sheriffs in of that county, and they're going to give you a ticket, and you're going to end up paying anywhere from $650 to $750 fine. Nice way for the city to make a lot of money in September, don't you think? You're not going to get in there. You ain't getting in. Don't you understand that? You can't. There's no way. I don't care if you got 2 million people. But I'm not God. I'm not the old man on the mountain. At the end of the day, who knows what's going to happen here, you know? It certainly could be the creation of a whole new thing to come. Like I said, an annual celebration, a rock festival. It's going to be turned into some kind of commercially viable money-making source or commodity or event. It's going to spawn all kinds of, just more money for the area, which is good. But please, guys, don't burden these people with this trying to get in. Please don't try to cross that line. I don't want to see any of us get hurt. It's not smart to try to do something like that. When the government has a military base that's top secret. That's top secret for a reason. Not only is it because they're working on something that's very sensitive, they don't want people to know about it, and there's a reason they don't want people to know, and it's also for your safety. Entering a place that could be dangerous for you, not just because you might end up getting some lead poisoning, and excuse the term, right? But you could get hurt in there. So it's not advisable, and I really highly doubt whether anybody is really going to try this. I would be very, 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 very surprised to see. Now, there's always going to be a few nut jobs out there that are going to try something. This thing that people signing up, half of them are probably just signing up because it's the latest. This is the latest trend online. Let's just sign up and say we're going and we're going to do this. And how many of these people are really going to show up? And how are they going to get all that traffic down Groom Lake Road, which is the road that goes into this facility? They couldn't even run a festival up in Bethel, New York, 1969, without people parking and leaving their cars on the New York State Thruway. This being Woodstock, by the way. Which, by the way, I know this is kind of off the subject, but my sister, I was almost 6 years old at the time, and she was going to take me and my nephew to that festival, and she bugged my then brother-in-law, for 2 weeks to go, and he would not budge. 2 weeks, peace sign, no pun intended, would not go. I think you'd have much better luck having a UFO fly over your house or land in your backyard and abduct you. You'd have much better of a chance of that. Look, just go watch the video, Joe Rogan, with where he interviews Bob Lazar, and be happy. And you can go out there and see the place, but don't try to charge the gates. I mean, for crying out loud, they got equipment where they can annihilate 3 million elephants, let alone, 1.5 million people. So, keep that in mind. Can I say, folks? We'll see what happens on September 20th. By the way, this Boswell Northwood sure is good. I'll be sitting home September 20th, watching the news, waiting to see what happens. Maybe I'll be smoking some Boswell Northwoods that night. Anyway, I'm the Spaceman, and I might just land down in your area next time around. So keep looking up to the stars, and you might just see me invade your space. Catch you later.
Extraterrestrial.